Okay, Beth, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
All right, it looks like we're on the record and ready to go.
Tom, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to
Okay.
go. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Tom Sunderman. I'm the Vice Chair of the Historic Conservation Board, and I would like to take a minute to remind everyone about the rules of this proceeding. This proceeding is at all times governed by the rules of procedure adopted by the board on September 26, 2011, amended March 23rd, 2015, last amended March 9th, 2020. A copy of the rules and procedures is available for review online. This is a quasi-legislative hearing. The Ohio rules of evidence do not apply to this hearing. However, professional rules of conduct do apply, and candor to the tribunal is required. Board members are citizen volunteers and are not paid for their service. They are treated as public officials under Ohio law. Any attempt to influence them, including but not limited to bribery, intimidation, retaliation, which may include contacting their employer in an attempt to exert influence, is punishable as a crime. All should be aware that this meeting is being tape recorded. Therefore, please speak clearly into your microphone and state your name and address for the record. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue to or postpone the hearing at my discretion. All participants providing testimony must have both camera and audio features turned on in order to participate. With that, let us proceed to the first item. Cassandra, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So the first item, which is a consent item, is number 1 is 1415 Wall Street. Beth, would you like to tell us about that one?
So I put this one on 1415 Walnut Street as a consent. And so we can forego the presentation if the board wants to approve it as recommended.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve this item as is?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve based on the staff's.
Thank you, Mr. Delasco. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. I don't have who all is here, so I'll just assume we'll take a vote. Mr. Delasco,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Miss Dobbins.
Yes.
Okay, and the vice chairman votes aye. So that is passed. Now, Beth, are we going to treat item 2 and 3 as one item?
Yes, if Mr. Sturkey is good, we can, if he's okay with us voting them together, then we can. Otherwise, we would just need to.
Okay,
vote.
Mr.
But
Sturkey, is that all right?
All part of the same project. So yes.
Yeah, did they come in as separate applications?
They did come in separate applications.
Let's do separate approvals then for each.
Okay, so these are consent items. Do I have a motion to accept these items as they are?
Chairman, I will make that motion.
Thank you, Ms. McKenzie. Do I have a second?
David, did you want them voted on separately?
Yeah, the first one is item 2, 1931 Freeman Avenue. The
Yes, sir.
second one will be item 3, 1937.
Yeah, so if we could do a separate vote for
Yeah,
each
that's what we're
address
doing.
and a motion to approve as recommended by staff.
Okay,
Mr.
Uh,
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve item 2 as recommended by staff.
okay.
And second,
Thank you, Mr. Salasco. Okay, so we'll take the vote. Mr. Salasco,
aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Ms. Smith Dobbins.
Yes.
Okay, that item is approved. We now go to item 3, 1937 Freeman Avenue. Do I have a motion to accept as laid out by staff?
So moved. I move.
Mr. Weiss, okay, a second?
Second.
I believe that was Ms. McKenzie. We'll take the vote. Mr. Zalotsko,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Ms. Smith Dobbins,
Yes.
and I vote aye, as I did on the last one. Okay, that takes care of those 3 items. We now go to item 4, 118 West 15th Street. Ms. Johnson, would you like to tell us about this one?
Yes. 118 West 15th Street is within the Over the Rhine Historic District, and it is within a base zone of RM 1.2. The applicant is requesting a use variance to expand a previously approved patio by adding a roof onto the patio and a dimensional variance for an increase of the existing non-conforming front setback. In 2015, the Historic Conservation Board had approved a use variance for an eating and drinking establishment at the property with an outdoor patio. So Pleasantry is the tenant, and the eating and drinking establishment is there, and that was a use variance, as this was or is a RM 1.2 zoning district. As you can see, the building was built as a mixed use building and had a commercial first floor when it was originally built. So the use variance had been granted. Because this is an expansion of that legally non-conforming use, they do need to get a renewal of their use variance. So while the actual footprint is not expanding, by adding a canopy, a permanent canopy, they are adding time that this outdoor patio would be able to be used. So it is considered an expansion of an existing approved use variance. So they do need to get an approval for a use variance for that expansion of that patio. And then they are putting the cover right at the setback, which obviously makes sense. However, just because of how the zoning setbacks are calculated for this district and for this specific property, it does actually need a variance to have that 0 lot line setback of the canopy. And so those are the 2 zoning relief that do need to be approved. And so, as I said, this is a proposal, is a continuation of the existing use with the expansion of the patio cover. The patio cover will be 14 feet above the street and will have a slope down to 12 feet at the rear. The patio cover will be a simple metal cover. The applicants have worked with me to find an appropriate material for the cover. The original material that they had submitted, as you can see, was kind of more of this, was an agricultural panel, but they've worked with staff and they are doing what they call a snap clad panel, which does replicate the look of a standing seam metal roof. They will be doing the smooth standard panel, and they have provided a selection of colors. Staff has outlined in red in our staff report the colors that we feel that would be appropriate. They do range in color from darker up to lighter. And so I do feel that that does give them a range that they would be able to use that would also give a chance for the condo association then to have some input in picking the color that they feel would be best. In regards to the zoning issues and the use of, or in the expansion of the existing use variance, staff is supportive of this. Staff did look at data that we have on open source data in regards to any calls or complaints, and there have been none noted for this property. And there have, other than from the condo association, some concerns with specifically the canopy, there has not been concerns with the expansion of the use of that patio. So some of the concerns that have been noted from the condo association, staff has tried to take that into account in some of our proposed conditions. Such as that one of the big concerns from the condo association was that the proposed canopy is going to basically span between the two buildings and would be attached to the buildings. While staff does not have an issue with this, we do understand the concern about the impact that it would have on the historic buildings, and a proposed solution would be to use individual poles and have this almost freestanding while still abutting the two buildings. And staff would be supportive of that change, and that change, staff would recommend that change can be approved at a staff level. As well as that one of the concerns was also proper water management, and staff has asked them to include they do have the gutter system that they would be, they'd have a gutter system here, and they would have to work with the building permits and water management to make sure that that is directed appropriately. In regards to the certificate of appropriateness, staff is supportive of it. The simple metal standing roof canopy is an appropriate material and an appropriate finish for the historic district. And this addition does not overpower the existing buildings and does provide a level of protection for the outdoor patio. And so with that, staff does recommend the following. Staff recommends that the board approve a use variance as outlined for 118 West 15th Street to allow expansion of the existing outdoor patio area with the inclusion of a roof structure subject to the following conditions. And these are also the same conditions that were put on the original use variance. That the outdoor patio may be no larger than the previously approved patio area as part of the original use variance. That the outdoor entertainment, including audio, visual equipment, or amplified music, is prohibited, and the use of the outdoor patio is prohibited between midnight and 7 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays, and 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. on all other days. As well as staff recommends approval of the requested dimensional variance as outlined for 118 West 15th Street to allow a 20-foot variance to allow the patio cover to be set at a 0 lot line along Pleasant Street. And then staff also recommends approval of a certificate of appropriateness for 118 West 15th Street per material submitted by an application dated 11/4/2021 with the following conditions. That the building permits must be issued within 2 years of the decision date, or a COA shall expire. If the applicants choose to support the structure through post rather than attaching it to the building, this change can be approved by staff, and the patio will include proper water management and drainage to divert water away from the courtyard.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have an applicant?
Is there anyone here that would like to speak in support of this project?
Yes, I'm one of the owners of Pleasantry.
Okay, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We,
Would you state your name, please?
yes, my name's Joanna Kirkendall. We submitted this application really thinking about coming out of the last couple of years of the pandemic and thinking about our sort of sustainability and integrity as a business moving forward. We really got through the pandemic with a lot of help from the community, from grants, loans, all the federal and local resources we could. And we just want to make sure that going forward, we're in a position to, really sustain the business for years to come. We're a really small footprint. The restaurant has a very small footprint, just about 1,000 square feet. So when we have the patio seats, if the weather's nice and we can seat that, it increases our seating capacity by over 50%. But if there's any rain in the forecast, we totally lose that patio. In the coldest months of winter, we lose the patio. It's really, it's a wonderful, wonderful asset for the community, for the restaurant. We love it, but we would just like to be able to use that patio more days of the year and have those seats available for our guests. So that's really where this all came from. We asked a friend who has a construction contracting business, and he came up with this plan for us. And we have been going back and forth with the HOA to find a solution to meet any of their concerns. And I think all the suggestions that Beth said sound great to us. We're happy to do whatever, gets us able to do this and keeps everyone happy that's in the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you very much. Is Daniel Suter here?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to testify?
I don't have much outside of what Joanna said. Just kind of second that and agree.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We also have Christopher Wold signed up.
Thank you. So I'm the president of the condo association.
We're going to need you to get sworn in, Dan.
Yeah, and that'll go for anyone who wants to testify at the hearing today. We'll just need to swear you in before we can take your testimony. So if you could raise your right hand, Mr. Wold, do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I can just provide a quick update. So I'm the president of the condo association, which is the buildings where the Pleasantry is located. We did share our concerns with the Pleasantry. They've provided a written response back. We are putting that up for a vote amongst the owners. And if the 75% of the owners approve, then we'll give approval for the awning. They do need the board's approval to be able to construct the awning. That's currently where we stand right now. And then the concerns were also summarized in the comments that we submitted to the board.
Okay, so help me out a little bit here. So you're the condo association, and you're saying that without the approval of the condo association, the applicant cannot build that roofing? Okay.
Yes, that's according to the condo bylaws. That is correct.
Okay. And I'd like to get a legal on that. Is that a correct statement?
So I think that should be more or less outside of the board's consideration. It sounds like if that legal determination, if it's accurate, would be something that would be handled internally by the condo association and the applicant. So I don't think that's necessarily something for the board's consideration today. And the board's consideration should be limited to what the concerns are that the condo association has with this particular application.
Okay, that sounds good. We also have Terry, please excuse me, Onmis?
Omis, yes.
Okay. What would you like to add, Terry?
Sure. Should I be sworn in?
Yes. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go ahead.
Terry Omis, resident at 1437 Pleasant Street. I'm in the townhome directly across the street from Pleasantry, and majority of my windows face their patio. On board and in support of the look and aesthetics of the roof, and especially for what that would do, to Joanna's point, for the operation of being able to double really their seating capacity, or at least increase it by 50%. I would be probably the person looking at it, and if there's any additional noise, dealing with it the most. And having Pleasantry across the street is a lot of the reason why I wanted to move exactly to where I did. And having them flourish on that corner, I think just helps all the housing on that block, and want to see them succeed and thrive for years to come. So saw what they have planned for the look and design, and can't wait to see it come to fruition, and look forward to having it happen if it does go that way.
Okay, sounds very pleasant. Do we have Sheena Buri?
Yes, hi. Do I have to be sworn in?
You do. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay,
So-
what would you like to add?
So we live in Unit 154. We're on the second story. And our view is actually directly over Pleasantry. So when we look out our window, which is the main reason why we bought that one unit, we were probably the fourth to buy in that whole unit. And we had a pick of all of them, and we really liked that one because it allows us to still be, part of those people on the street. We can see, feel connected with the community in that sense. And when you put a roof on, that's the one thing we're going to see is just a roof. So in terms of our view, we're a little concerned about what that's going to do for us on our end. It's also going to make our courtyard very dark and boxed in, which, the aesthetics are great, but you kind of have to come into our units to see what that's going to make us feel when we live there. And I guess I don't know if that's been taken into account.
What floor do you live on?
The second floor.
Second floor. And so when you look out your window,
Mhm.
is the roof that they're putting in, is that going to be above your window?
It's going to be right below.
Just below? So when you look out your window, you'll look out and see that metal roof
Correct.
right underneath. I see. Okay. Cassandra, do we have anybody else signed up?
No.
Hey, Tom, I do have a couple, I think
Yes.
they're obvious questions. Exhibit A, which is buried back there around page 97, I think it's numbered. There's a floor plan, and most of a lot of the labeling is missing. That looks like a ramp at the bottom. Is that, I just want to make sure I understand that is a ramp that's kind of measured 4 by 7.6. And it looks like the bench seating is fixed. Am I just reading that correctly?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the handicap accessible ramp is an entrance from the patio. And then, that bench seating that's at the perimeter of the patio is fixed.
Okay. And I assume that's wood. Your intention was to make that wood.
Yes, it is wood. Yep.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do we have any other questions from any member of the board?
I mean, I have another concern. If it's a metal roof and we have rain falling on that, how much noise is that going to produce? Because we already get noise from the vent. What is it? The oven vent that's in our patio. So we can't really sit out there when that's running in the summertime. We've tried to mediate it, but it's still an issue. So if we're adding a metal roof with rain, how's that going to add to noise as well?
Okay. Do we have no other questions or comments from the board for either staff or the applicants or witnesses? That being the case, I will accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and move that we approve the work at 118 West 15th per zoning relief and permit recommendations identified by staff.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'll take a vote. Mr. Zelasco,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Ms. Dobbins,
Yes.
and I vote aye. So the motion is carried. Do we have any other business today?
Yes, there's the December
Oh, yes.
2021 and January of 22 staff approvals that were carried over from the last meeting.
So it is actually only the December ones. I thought I also had the January ones, but they actually ran the wrong report for me. So at this point, it's only the December ones, and I will provide the January at next month or next meeting.
I apologize. I'm not sure exactly what the December report is.
So the December report is at the very end of the packet. It is the
Yeah.
certificate of appropriatenesses that were approved at staff level.
So can we just have a motion to approve all of those?
Yep, no, that's what we just need. We just need you. a
Okay.
motion to approve
Do I
it.
have a motion to approve those motions?
So moved.
Mr. Zelasco, do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Dobbins, let's take a vote. Mr. Zelasco,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Ms. Dobbins,
Yes.
Mr. Sunderman votes aye. So that is it for our business today.
That is it. We gave
Okay,
you a
Beth.
short one. We gave you a short
Beth, I
one.
know you want to get back to your luxurious home that was in the newspaper.
Thank you. Yes.
We're waiting for the party this summer. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Second, all in